Hello, Yoga Moguls. This is Albina, and today I wanted to talk to you about your power of intuition as a key to your business success. As I look back at, starting my businesses, growing my businesses, exiting out of my businesses, what I can tell you is that I have always based all of my decisions on my intuition, inner guidance, or what I call divine guidance. And we all have that gift. We all have a gift of intuition. It's just some of us are able to develop it better than others. Some people simply ignore their intuition. And when you ignore your intuition, eventually it stops talking to you. Well, let me give you, we can sit here and talk about esoteric qualities of intuition and the energy of it, but I'm a very practical person. So let me share with you some stories from my business life that helped me make really big decisions, and all of them were divinely guided, or another way of saying it is I heard kind of like that guidance and meditation through my intuition, so to speak. So when we started, our first yoga studio was a one-room small yoga studio, and eventually we grew it to a thriving community of 7 yoga studios, a juice bar, a retreat center in Taos, New Mexico. Every single one of those studios, as we opened it, my intuition, all of those decisions were rooted in my intuition. So I would listen for correct timing and correct way, in a perfect way, as a matter of fact, to open the studios. And over a course of 10 years, we've created a thriving community of 7 yoga studios. But the most fascinating part that I am to this day really, really blown away by is that in my meditation, which is how I connect to my intuition, I received the guidance like it was time to just step away from my yoga business. And that's when we were able to sell it and literally exit our business just a couple of years before COVID-19 happened. And honestly, looking back, I'll tell you from my heart that my business wouldn't have survived COVID-19. And maybe right now you too are struggling with your business right now, because we are in this uncertain reality when things are changing daily with in COVID-19 global pandemic reality. So what I want to tell you today, I want to share with you one of the ways that I use to rely on my intuition, inner guidance. I call it divine guidance. But before we go through that process, because we can talk about intuition, but I'm a very practical person, right? Teach me how to develop my intuition. So today's session is all about strengthening your intuitive muscle, and I'm going to share with you a very specific process. And before I do that, what I want to share with you is another piece of very important information, and it has to do with larger rhythms in the universe. So everything in the universe has its time. I call it perfect timing, divine timing, God's timing. Similar to how I sold my yoga studio in perfect timing. Do you know what I mean? So we all have our own timing. Our life has certain seasonality to it, right? We're first born, then we're little children, then we go into adolescence, and with kid maturity, and then we are, so to speak, on the sunset of our life, so to speak. The same goes with seasons in our business, similar to our life seasons, right? Our business also has a season. When you start a business, your business is a baby, then it's growing, it's getting stronger, it's getting more powerful. At some point your business reaches maturity, and then at some point, there is a natural curve, in other words, to all of life. There are different seasons in industries. Do you know what I mean? So knowing that timing and sensing timing, because timing is everything, and sensing that timing, correct timing for everything, is power. So let me just tell you, based on my experience, before I sold my business, I could sense that the timing was changing, that something was changing. And remember, I told you how I spent a lot of time, energy, and focus on developing my intuition. And on one hand, I could sense that something was about to change, but also I am a very practical person. I was looking at my numbers and I could tell that just by looking at the numbers that things were shifting, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Back then, I thought it was actually the competition entering the market, other yoga studios opening up. But as a matter of fact, now that I have 2020 vision, I realized it was something else. So that was 2000, I guess 16, 17, when I was sensing the changes were coming. The yoga industry was shifting. And in a way, like, because I listened to my intuition all the time, I knew that the yoga industry was at its peak. I could feel it, I could sense it. I also knew that my business was getting to its peak. So I literally had two options. We could either expand and grow even more. We had 7 yoga studios, a juice bar, and a retreat center. So one path was to really expand and go really, really big, which one of those avenues was absolutely explored. But the other avenue was to exit the business. But I knew, I sensed it, and I also looked at the numbers. I could tell that the timing was right then when it happened in 2017. At the time, I didn't know global pandemic would happen. I didn't know that the whole yoga industry would change, but I could just sense it. And what that sense, that sixth sense almost like, is what I want to share with you today. How to tap into your intuition, inner knowing, innate wisdom. I call it divine guidance. Okay, so there are seasons in your business. There are seasons in the industry. There are seasons in Mother Nature. And the timing right now, we are in spring, in a larger universal rhythm, so to speak. Spring is the time to plant your seeds. What you sow is what you're going to reap later on in the year. Do you know what I mean? Moreover, when you, like, if you plant something in the winter time, it's not going to work. No matter how hard you work, how hard you water this plant and put it in the sun and put it in a warm place, it's going to be very difficult for you to get that plant to grow, right? It will grow, but it's going to take lots of effort. Versus when you plant something in the spring, and Mother Nature, in other words, when you plant in the spring, all of Mother Nature is working in cadence with you, or rather you are working in cadence with Mother Nature. And when that happens, that's when you get to experience effortless ease. So I want you to understand that your actions taken incorrect timing with the bigger rhythms of the universe, the world, your business, your industry is important. Timing is everything. And hear me when I say that right now, springtime is the time for action. You know, look in a bigger picture, people are getting their vaccines right now. Do you know what I mean? So people are starting to feel more comfortable going back to the yoga studios and going back to their lives. So right now is time to take action. And I mean, I can sit here and tell you all the practical steps to do it, which is very, very valid and valuable. But I want to give you something even more valuable, which is listen with your inner hearing. Listen with your intuition, because your intuition will always guide you beyond your wildest dreams. Your intuition, when combined with the practical knowledge, is going to deliver to you the results that nobody else can deliver. I can show you all the tools, all the practical stuff, and ultimately knowing the practical stuff is really great and important. But what I'm saying to you, my friends, right now is that your intuition is even more important. Because to me, my intuition has guided me from starting my business to making it thrive with 7 yoga studios, and then exited in perfect timing and in a perfect way. So here's the exercise that I would like for you to do. And you know what? I was looking for a volunteer today, but I couldn't find anybody to volunteer. So I'm kind of going to do my best to guide you through the steps so that you can do it on your own. And then if you'd like my help, just reach out to me and I'm happy to assist you with this. But this is the process that literally I do every spring. So take a deep breath right now. Take another deep breath and maybe close your eyes. Now remember, when you close your eyes, you go inside. When you take a deep breath and you relax your body on the exhale, and when you relax your physical body, you get to connect to that deeper knowing within you. This is beyond your understanding. This is beyond your reasoning. This is beyond logic. So right now, as your eyes are closed, take another big breath. Enjoy your breath. And exhale, relax your brain. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, your belly. Remember, this is not a thinking process. Rather, this is a sensing or intuiting process, right? It's rooted deeply in your intuition. When I ask you a question, your subconscious mind will always give you an answer. So the question is, what do I need to plant right now? What do I need to plant right now? Yes, it's a metaphor. What do I need to plant right now? And I'll listen for the number, for a number between 1 and 5. The first number that pops into your head, that's the number. That's how many things you need to plant right now. So for me, that number is 3. Write it down. The next question you ask is, in the order of priority, listen to me, you guys. The order of priority matters. You can say, the dog bit Johnny, or Johnny bit the dog. The order of words changes the entire meaning of the sentence, right? So the order of priority matters. So ask yourself, in the order of priority, what is the first thing that I need to plant right now? In other words, in the order of priority, there are action steps. What is the first action step? And as soon as you hear the answer, write it down. And then you go, what is the second thing? What is the third thing? And so forth. And then if you need more clarity, with your eyes closed, you breathe deeply and you relax your body and you ask for clarity. Let me tell you, as an example, what came up for me. So for me, it was 3 things that I needed to do right now in springtime, so that if I do it in cadence with the universal rhythms, it happens with effortless ease. I literally don't even have to work so much or so hard. It just happens because we're working in the rhythm, in harmony with those bigger universal rhythms. I don't have my notebook, but I remember where that is. So in the order of priority, what came up for me is right now, I think I told you guys I'm mastering Facebook ads. So it's actually one of my goals for 2021 is to become a Facebook ads guru. So in the order of priority, my intuition told me that it's time. Now is the time for me to focus on that. Now, the second thing that came up for me, these are all action steps, right? I no longer have a yoga business, but I have a retreat center. So, but the action steps for you will be literally action steps. This is no longer like energy so much as an inspired action steps. So for me, it was like work on my public speaking skills. And I'm actually I'm participating in a Toastmasters contest for the world's best speaker. My intuition told me I need to prioritize that. I need to work on that. It is important. And the third thing was like roll up your sleeves and get to work at my Blue Sky Retreat Center. It's time for me to work right now. Put some elbow grease into it, get off my body and actually get to work. So again, listen to your intuition. I cannot emphasize how important it is. Make time in your schedule. It takes only 10 minutes. So set aside time to do this exercise. This is a very tangible way of you connecting with your intuition, inner guidance. And I promise you, if you set aside time to do this periodically, your intuition will always guide you to a life beyond your wildest dream. My intuition has guided me to the business success I never ever could have dreamed of. So please do this exercise, and remember, every Friday I get here on our Yoga Mogul Facebook group and I share with you gems, everything that I know about making your business successful based on my experience, 10 plus years of running hugely successful yoga businesses. It's practical stuff. and it is a little bit of that metaphysical stuff that I just shared with you today. I love you. Reach out if you have any questions or you want help with this intuition stuff.